Ladies and gentlemen, this is internet personality Vangelus here with a Transformers Revenge of the Fallen review. This is Voyager Megatron. He's very green and he's about the size of a hamburger. This is the generally nicer version of the character that you can get a hold of. I have nothing against the leader toy. I'm generally not outright despising it, but I really like this iteration more. There's various reasons why. I think that, I like the leader tank, but this tank has so many doofy qualities like the random wings and a much better face guard for Megatron's exposed head. It kind of looks like the Beast Machine Megatron's control helmet sort of deal. I just like the way that looks more. There is also a kind of debate about what these wings are for, and I think there is kind of an alternate vehicle mode to be had in here if you flip stuff around a bit. You see, he was a tank, now he's totally an alien jet. It whoosh works. Anyway, he's got an interesting transformation that is surprisingly simple, a little shell formery with automorph, yet none of those things really turn out badly. Automorph is done pretty well here, it's just this stuff, and the simplicity kind of helps him out, because it's still got some intricate design work, but most of it doesn't really get in the way of your fun. And I also really just like bending tank treads like that. For some reason that excites me incredibly. And everything kind of folds together with a degree of completeness. Like the way this all comes together here for this leg, and it's still got the kind of movie mech walker shape going on, but I don't know, I think it turned out well. I mean, they still gave him toes, but you can forgive those, can't you? I do like that the arms basically fold out from bits and pieces of outside tank bits. It allows for slightly more well-formed arms than on the leader, because neither arm is really a giant piece of bulk, nor a tiny shriveled up thing that has to fit inside without taking up any space. So there's a better distribution of mass here, in my opinion. The rest of this transformation is a little bit open in interpretation. There's a lot of ways you can do this depending on your preference. My own preference is that I actually like the backpack. I liked the backpack on the original movie's Voyager Megatron. Now, I generally hated that toy, but I thought the backpack actually worked. I don't believe that the toys need to try to be a backpackless, physics-defying kind of deal. I think that they can get away with a backpack better, and in the case of this guy, especially if you put this little bit inside between the helmet halves to hold it in place, you can really do whatever you want with the backpack. You can fold it up completely like this so that from the front, hey, look, there's no backpack. Oh, whoops. Or you can just open it up like this. And I don't think this looks that bad, especially since you can play with how much it sticks out. I think this backpack actually works. Much like the Voyager Optimus Prime, I think that this is actually a really great robot design. Maybe not totally screen accurate, but definitely a cool design just as a standalone evil Megatron robot. And this guy really looks the part. It's a shame he's this small. Being Voyager size really helps him as far as recommendability for buying goes, but he just pulls off the robot mode so much better than the leader as far as the way I see it. He has a really cool gimmick over here too, aside from this little finger. Thanks to PO, we kind of know how this works. Basically, it's designed so you can hold everything in place while you move it around and not break the gears, or you can extend it out without holding anything in place, and boom! The murder arm is complete. And then if you hold it all in place, clickety click, 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 oh look, you can pose it regardless of the gimmick. That is so cool. He also has a firing missile in here, but I lost it. And I don't think any of us have lost out on any experience by my not being able to find it. So let's just pretend that it doesn't exist. Neck posability would be one of my biggest problems with this guy, only because due to his neck joint, he's got a lot of posability, but the simple stuff isn't there. That said, thanks to that and also just how many joints there are in his legs, you can really get some cool, I'm gonna come and rip your goddamn eye out Optimus Prime stuff going on. And thanks to his ample heel support, he can kind of hold these poses well, provided you balance everything else out right. If these toes had been a little bit more solid, then he would have been able to do a lot more, and that's a bit of a shame, but really, I think this is pretty cool. As far as the famous Mecha Live goes, there's some in his elbow here. Oh my god. The really cool one here is in his chest. You see all that stuff in his chest? If you turn his torso, or in this case turn his legs, his waist causes mass numbers of gears to start moving around in there, and I think that is cool. That is one of my favorite Mecha Live gimmicks in the line so far. I think that's wicked. Totally does nothing for the toy, but it looks cool, and when you're posing him, you'll see all this stuff moving around, and you're just like, whoa. Also, his head sculpt is really just terrifying. It gets across the movie Megatron look quite well, and thanks to the light piping, you can even get some magma mouth going on. Now, there is one little issue one can take, and that would be his color scheme. Oddly enough, he's green. He's more of a rusted sea green with nice silver highlights all over the place, and I actually love the gold on the face. I think that his head on its own, this paint scheme just for the head is incredible, along with the sculpting work. There's layers of plastic here. If you disassemble it, like, these pieces cup off, and there's all kinds of stuff. That is wicked. I like this guy's head. His color scheme, though, I can understand how people don't dig it, because oddly enough, much like the gray used on the Leader Prime, it's a very unpainted-looking plastic color. There are certain plastic colors that look okay when they're not painted. This one, though, the silver parts look cool. The non-silver parts, not so much. However, I think that overall that look works, and given that I tend to regard the Voyager movie leader characters as kind of like alternate versions, you know, this guy and the Voyager Prime I kind of consider as like, they are the main Optimus Prime and Megatron from some kind of alternate continuity, because they look so different from the designs, yet work so well, that I don't really mind the color scheme. This is just a big, scary, winged green Megatron, and that ain't bad. I think the color scheme actually works, provided you're not looking for screen accuracy. And I will admit, when it comes to movie toys, I look for screen accuracy to a point, but when I don't think it's possible, then I don't really care that much. Although I am certainly not going to be opposed to a silver repaint of this guy. Sadly, the version that comes with Soundwave and the Fallen in that meeting at the Nemesis box is the original movie Voyager Megatron, who I have very few nice things to say about. Overall, though, I recommend this guy. If you want a Megatron from the movie line, this is the one to get. This is the only Megatron from the movie line of all the different iterations that I feel is an overall success of a toy. All the leader ones, you know, they're okay, but they have many flaws compared to their other leader brethren. The first movie, Voyager Megatron, I don't buy it unless you want to be cool and hate on the bad toys. And, you know, the Legends ones, they're neat, but they're a novelty at best. And Fast Action Battlers, well, Fab Movie 1 Megatron at least could hide his head. Anyway, I still recommend this guy. Unless you really are put off by the green, then, you know, hopefully they'll repaint him in a way you enjoy it. But this is a great mold, and I really recommend it for all of your bisecting good guy robots needs. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus. Hope you enjoyed this review to a degree. I wish I could say this was the ultimate Megatron, but there is one very unfortunate aspect to him. Now, as I said, you know, I think that he's a great matchup for Voyager Prime. Problem is, there is a really excellent Leader Prime, and when you stack them up in a fight, gets a little bit unfair.